It's Webinar Wednesday with the Anwars. Pete's just cracked a joke, so mind if I laugh.
I don't crack jokes.
A little bit. Tonight we wanted to talk to you about the comfort zone. And we're taught a lot in this industry that great things are outside of the comfort zone and not much good happens. We feel comfortable, but we don't grow. And nothing great comes from staying inside of our comfort zone. And I was speaking to Pete about it. And we've been, discussing it and talking about, all the people that are successful. And everyone that is successful has got out of their comfort zone, and you can't actually be successful if you don't get out of your comfort zone. But Pete has better insight. He's better than me talking about stuff like this. So I wanted Pete to join us on the Webinar Wednesday, the Anwar Webinar Wednesday. Ped.
Is it now, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
now.
Right. I was thinking of something, and I remember being back in school, and there was a term which came to me when we were talking about it, came to me, and it was the term homeostasis. Now, I don't know if anyone remembers it, but I looked at it because for some reason it just sounded right, so I read about it, and it's all about your body maintaining a constant, optimal internal environment, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So, you think about it, so the best way I think about it is when you go swimming and you're going to jump in the pool, or there's two ways to get in. You either jump in or you kind of like stick toe in water, don't you? Like trying to get your way in. But which way do you think's better? Like, obviously, I think I know which way is better. What are your experiences of jumping in the water then?
Do you mean in the sea or in a pool?
Like in a pool or in the sea. Like,
where it's cold?
Yeah.
Well, it's like trepidation. Is that the word?
I don't know.
It's when you're anxious about getting in it. What is that word?
Trepidation. Anyway, yeah. Like,
it's when you feel, I don't even know if that's the right word, but where you feel a bit anxious about don't you, before you get in the water, you're like, then you just get in there slowly because it's just like, and then you're like, and then you come back out because it's too cold.
You feel the cold, don't you?
Yeah.
You feel the cold. Like when I go swimming, I don't go swimming. I walk into the water. It takes about like 30 minutes to get into the water because literally I put my feet in. Lola knows because literally I take ages to get in. Lola, she literally just goes running in and she's gone, and I'm just like, I'm at about knee height and I'm still sweating and it's freezing.
And
I'm
you just like, you try and tiptoe, don't you? Like to keep out a bit but go deeper.
That kind of feeling it. So basically what I'm telling you is when you dive in, your body regulates the temperature back to the internal optimum level, so that's like 37 degrees. Does that make sense?
No, that's interesting.
So when you dive in, you're cold for about, let's say, I don't know, how long? About 5 seconds, 10 seconds.
Yeah, not even that, is it? You just get used to it.
You just feel cold, and then all of a sudden it's okay.
It's a quick, feels uncomfortable for you.
I mean, the water's still cold.
It's still cold, but you get used to it.
But you get used to it.
And like the longer you're in there, the warmer it feels. Do you know what I mean?
The warmer it feels, but it's still the same cold. It's still the same
temperature.
Yeah, still the same temperature. But when you're in there, it's all right.
So it's like your body acclimatizes. Does that make sense?
That's it. Yeah, basically it acclimatizes to whatever you're in. And the problem with getting in with like your toes in first and making your way in half an hour, and you like go hypothermia kind of thing. It's you get in, but your body is still on the outside of the water, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So your body's still on the outside, and your body's trying to regulate that temperature, which most of it's in. So when it's on the outside and you still like got a foot in the water, it's thinking, oh, that's really cold.
Yeah.
You either get your foot out of the water or get in completely.
Yeah, and then I'll be able to regulate. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. But let's turn that into network marketing then, and into your businesses. So let's think about it. So if your body, I would say now, let's think about it now as a mental level. So if your body does that, I think your mind does that as well. So say like, for example, you want to recruit like this month, you got like 100 names and you're thinking about doing them. Like what's the best way to do it then?
Smash it out.
Smash it out. So you literally got your list of names. Lo's got a book here. She's got a book here and it's full of names. It's got a few names on there. I don't know if you can see it, that's one page. A couple on this one, French one.
I got it yesterday.
It's a new book.
Just started it.
But so if you think about it mentally, so say if you talk to one person, you think, right, I'm gonna talk to one person, and they reject you, and you think, oh, that was a bit harsh, don't want it, and you feel like, oh, I can't do that again. You're effectively, metaphorically dipping your toe in the water. If you just talk to that one person, and they hit you with a no or rejection, it feels until you feel it. Now, the only way to counteract it is literally just to jump in and get your list of names, and you just keep going. And you keep going. And if you got 100, you do 100. That's it. Because unless you do that, your body effectively is still standing on the outside instead of being right in the water for it to be able to regulate. See what happens when you've done it.
No, that it is. You can liken it to that definitely, because sometimes your message, say you'll do one or two, and the messages are still there for you to read, so you can see if they've not replied, if they've read, or if they've not read. Do you know what I mean? Or if they've not sent, so they've not got them, and you can actually be like, oh, waiting for it. But if like say, if I'll do some days 40 in a row, I can't even see the first ones that I've done. And to be honest, I forget who I've even done. So the ones that reply to me, that's great, because they're replying, and I can get chatting to them even if they give me a no. You know, I know how to turn that round. So yeah, you don't feel it, because it's just like, I've spoken to that many people, I can't even think about what people are going to say to me, or if they've said no, or if they've, because I've spoken to that many people, and you get, the more you speak to, the more you get positive reaction. If you speak to 2 people, more than likely they're going to say no or ignore you. You speak to 40, you're going to get a few people that are positive and say yes, and then you feel better. Do you know what I mean? There's other no's, you could have 1 in 100, but it's just like, well,
it's just another one.
Yeah, it's like a, yeah.
Now, it's the same people you're talking to, but it's a different environment. Now, that comfort zone is just like the sea. It's just like the ice cold sea. You see those guys on New Year's Day when they dive into the ice cold sea. I don't know how they do it, but what you notice is they don't dip the toe in water, do they?
No,
they literally just
get in.
They're in and they're gone, and that's all it is. And with this thing, it's the same. Like, okay, for example, like say you party, instead of gonna just like let's say think about you just put a little post up banner and you just hope for the best. That's effectively dipping your toe in the water. Yeah. How uncomfortable does that feel?
No, it does, yeah.
Really uncomfortable, doesn't it? Now, your parties, what have been your best parties then?
Ones where I've let all my inhibitions go. Is that right word as well?
Inhibition.
Hibernation. Photosynthesis. No, where you just let everything go and you're just yourself on the videos. That's where mine. I've done videos and I've just been myself, like totally myself, where people can connect with me. And that is out of your comfort zone, because you're opening up who you are. Do you know what I mean? But I find that those parties where people can connect with me are way more successful than a post, me sat behind, and it feels safe. Do you know what I mean?
So basically, when you're immersed,
you're just hoping for something, whereas if you post something, you're actually working for something. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. I mean, so when you're immersed in that party, you feel like you're on fire, then, don't you? You feel, for some reason, it's like your body warms up and you feel like you're on fire. Because technically, it's going to be cold water, but when your body warms up, it's getting warmer than it should do. That makes sense?
Definitely.
It's a bit weird, anyway, but that's life here, isn't it? It's always weird, isn't it? Anyway, so I was thinking about just one more thing, and I think it kind of ties in, is the regret thing. So Colleen put a video up, and if you haven't seen it, I looked at it, and it's so good. And it kind of made me think, and because I've been getting a bit flabby lately, because I've not been doing I've not been doing anything. So I read and I watched it. I thought, you know what, I'm going to just whip out some press ups now, because I thought, you know what, live life with no regrets.
Colleen.
And literally, it's basically, if you haven't seen it, it's a video of someone puts a board out on the street and literally put, I forgot what it says now. It's something about your regrets or something like that, or like, what's your regret? And literally everyone puts something on lines of not doing something. It's never doing something. It's always not doing something. So like someone says like, not having my kids before my father passed away, which was quite sad.
Not in telling your partner you love them and things like that.
Not going on that ride or something like that. Just anything, little things, but it's always a not, or not pursuing my dream, or not anything. It's all nots, isn't it? And that's the same with diving in water. I mean, we went to Spain, didn't we, when we were dating, and we went to Algarve, the font thing.
Oh yeah, Fonts de Algarve.
And it was like well cold, and there's this big jump, and there's a big water. And to be fair, to be really honest, I regret not doing it now. I regret, like, it was a beautiful water, proper nice, and everyone jumped in. It was like off this little thing, diving board thing.
Wow, good.
It was really cold because I put my toe in the water. I was like, I am not going in there because I'll die if I die in and just fall to the floor and die of hypothermia. But everyone jumped in, they were loving it. I'm just sat on a rock, like getting a tan, even though I don't need a tan because you can see this. You know what I mean? But literally, I regret not diving in the water. And that's the same with your business. Imagine 10 years down the line where you're seeing some people that got some mint success and you're thinking, hold on, why don't I do the same thing? And the secret is, there's no secret. The secret is literally there's no secret, is it? It's just do it.
Dive in.
Just dive in. And guess what? Your body will adapt to it and you will feel so pumped. I'll write something down. Let me just see if I can find it. But Lola, you can fill some gaps if you want. I don't know. Think about it. So, what are you going to regret? Are you ever going to regret dipping your toe in the water? Yes. Definitely. But will you regret diving in and just smashing it as hard as you can? And even though you might not get the result you want straight away or whatever, you'll look back and say, you know what?
Did my best.
Did my best. I feel good. I got some good from it.
Honest best.
Honest best. Like honest best. I'm not talking about, I did my best. I talked to 5 people, but I did my best. I talked to 700 people in a week.
I did have to do that night, so I didn't do all of them.
Yeah, but you think, you know what, I did it. Guess what? I don't care about the result anymore. It's because the sheer fact that I did that, it means a lot. And the secret is here. If I'll tell you there's no secret, this is the secret, right? 5% of people in the world do that. 5% of people just say, you know what, I'm going to smash it and see what happens. Those are the same 5% of people that have bank balances like phone numbers. Bro, get me. Well, you know what I mean? Like, just seriously rich. Because literally all they do is, you know what? I'm desperate. I need to do this. I need to make this to make a difference in my life. I need to do something. So it literally is me. I am changing my story. I'm not going to live the story of everyone else who's literally gone through life, have all these regrets and die. I want to be this person who gets to a certain point, changes it, goes through all these up and down, all these like Rocky, like Rocky and stuff, and all these Disney shows and all these things. They always go through this little bad period, but then they come out on this other end, and obviously like Rapunzel cut her hair, didn't she?
Yeah. And
Frozen, she's all happy again because you can see the female. Watch loads of Disney films like when Love's Out with Bijou, but literally, it's always a happy ending. It's the only reason why it's a happy ending because they kept going till they got to the happy ending. I don't know what happens if you keep going afterwards, but I just know when they got into that dark bit, they kept going. Does that make sense?
Yeah, limitless.
Limitless. That's all you got to do. So literally, immerse yourself. Because unless you immerse yourself, your body cannot adapt to your mind, cannot adapt to what you're doing. Unless you do that, that's where the real energy comes from. And that's where you realise, hold on, I'm not bothered. I'm just going to do it, see what happens. Yeah?
Thank you.
Pumped.
Really appreciate it. I'm excited. 2016, what do you think?
I'm going to smash it.
Smash it.
I'm going to smash it, man.